Hello, in this video we're going to look at demand and average revenue. Average revenue is the revenue per unit of output. The formula for average revenue is total revenue divided by the quantity of output. TR is total revenue and Q represents the quantity of output. Total revenue is the price per unit times the quantity of units sold. And you'll note here that the Q's cancel in the numerator and denominator, leaving us with an expression for average revenue of price. So average revenue equals price. So example 1, do a few problems. The inverse demand is given by P equals 340 minus 12Q. What is average revenue? So we could do it this way. Well, we'll take total revenue and divide it by output. What's total revenue? The price equation times quantity. So in parentheses, I have the price equation, and then that's being multiplied by Q. Same thing up here, P times Q, so P times Q. And you'll note here that this Q and this Q cancel. So there's a Q here and a Q down here. That cancels. And average revenue is just 340 minus 12Q, which is price. So average revenue is just the inverse demand equation, where inverse demand, we have price as a function of quantity. Example 2, Q equals 40 minus 0.125P. What is average revenue? We're going to take this demand equation and solve for the inverse demand. So we're going to solve this equation for P. So moving some things around here, adding 0.125P to both sides, we get this result. And dividing through by 0.125. 40 divided by 0.125 is 320. And Q divided by 0.125 is just minus 8Q. So average revenue then is just price, 320 minus 8Q. Example 3, perfect competition. Market price is $12. So the equilibrium price here, P, is $12. What is the firm's average revenue? So average revenue equals price. It's just $12, a constant. And you'll note here that for a competitive firm, the demand curve is horizontal at the equilibrium price, and that also represents marginal revenue. And as we just shown here, the demand also represents average revenue. For a monopolist, marginal revenue is less than average revenue or price. This video is not about marginal revenue, but something you should keep in mind is that for a monopolist, marginal revenue and average revenue are not the same thing. And finally, example 4, a monopolist with an inverse demand of price equals 75 minus 2Q produces 5 units of output. What is the firm's average revenue at this output level? So plugging 5 into the inverse demand, price equals $65. So average revenue at 5 units of output is price, or $65. We could back into it another way if we like. The firm's total revenue is price times quantity. So the price is $65 times the number of units sold is 5. And average revenue then is total revenue divided by quantity. So 325 divided by the quantity of output. Once again, average revenue is $65. All right, I hope this video was helpful.